trying where you belong. Now it's gone. I've been fighting that fire for far too long. Now it's gone. You can climb much higher where you belong. Now it's gone.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 9 in season number 2 of the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. We are here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Sioux PowerPEX 200. This a 40-lap race around this 0.686 mile speedway just outside Indianapolis, really close to the big house, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but today it's around this short track, the 4th short track of the season for these guys, and it's going to be an interesting one, especially like the last one we had at Iowa. So a lot of passing in that race. We might see a lot of passing here tonight. Not entirely sure what we're going to see. It's been a very long time since we've been to this racetrack as well. And I just don't know what to expect in that. I know it's going to be good, though. And we're going to have a good race tonight for race 9 of the season here in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series. And considering we only have 6 races left to go in the season, those point standings are very critical. Annie Thomas with the points lead still, 183 points for the South Boston winner earlier this season. Brad Stover, who starts on the pole, is tied with Matthew Phillips for second in the points. They are both 6 points behind. Micah Knapp, Richard Kinghart, both 8 points behind, tied for 4th in the points coming into this race here today. It's going to be a great one here tonight around the Indianapolis Raceway Park. The 4th short track of the season, and the short track racing is always really good here in the ARCA Racing Series. So let's go ahead, get it started. Let's head trackside for the command to fire these guys up for the Sioux PowerPEX 200 at IRP.
Drivers, start your engines!
And a great command there to fire these guys up for the 4th short track race of the season. Brad Stover on the pole in the number 27. He's starting alongside Luke Rainey in the number 69. Great starting position for him here tonight. Number 6, defending NRLOA ARCA Racing Series champion Nick Smith alongside Jaden Scott. You got Daniel Bouchard and Tyler Ryan in row number 3, the first Pocono winner from earlier this season. Number 55, Philip Goldberg alongside Isaac Nichols in row number 4. And our last winner, the winner of the last Pocono race here in the ARCA Racing Series, got the Mod Space 150 in the books. That's Jonathan King in the 01 alongside Noah Clifton. Make sure everybody's rolling off here. First time I tried recording this, they did not all roll off, but this time they all will, so that's a good thing there. So Brad Stover, he won at Toledo. This racetrack is very similar to Toledo. Looking to get his 2nd win of the season and possibly take the points lead away from Annie Thomas. Not sure where Thomas is. I believe he's midway through the field as green flag racing here at IRP in the Sioux PowerPEX 200. Brad Stover with the advantage on Luke Rainey. Nick Smith in the number 6 trying to close in fast. But Stover pulls away a little bit. And the 27 is single file out front on lap 1. Daniel Bouchard all the way up to 3rd already as Rainey falls back to 4th. He might have tapped the outside wall there. Not entirely sure if he did. Nick Smith trying to get a run on Brad Stover, and the yellow flag is already out. The 18 of Josh Crash. There's Micah Knapp in the 33, and Nathan Stapleton in the 28 with damage. The 71 as well. That is Eli Bright. There was accumulated damage in that machine. And a very early caution here tonight. The Indianapolis Raceway Park. It's Brad Stover, who won the race back to the line, and it happened to be that the first lap is when this caution occurred. So we're going to go ahead and see what happened to bring out that first caution here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. This is definitely a very interesting accident. Annie Thomas, the points leader here in the ARCA Racing Series, got a little wide off of turn 2 and clipped Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton went around in the 28, and this racetrack does not have much room. That 28 hits the inside wall, then bounces back up into the 18 and the 33. I believe Annie Thomas avoided any more contact in the number 30, but right there you see Micah Knapp, Josh Crash get involved, and Eli Bright nowhere to go. I believe Adam Lewis and Cameron Garlington avoided contact, which is a good thing. But those 4 drivers involved see the 67 of Tyler Lyman in the outside wall a little bit. Unfortunate break for those guys. In the 71 there, Eli Bright ended up tapping the 18 again. But Adam Lewis, look at that 11 just a little bit there as he hit the 18. Almost thought he was going to avoid that, but he didn't. But Stapleton went around into Micah Knapp and Josh Crash, and Eli Bright also caught up in this one as well. Replay this in real time. Nathan Stapleton, the Watkins Glen winner, going around Micah Knapp, who is up there in the point standings. He's only 8 points behind. He might be farther back at the end of this one after that accident there. Tough break for those guys. The first lap of the race. But we'll get back to racing here. It's a good opportunity for Nick Smith in the number 6. I know I said that we might see a lot of passing here tonight, but passing is still kind of difficult. And on those restarts, it's when these guys get the chance to make those passes. So we'll see what happens with Nick Smith and Brad Stover when we restart here in the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200 at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, Brad Stover, the leader, a Toledo winner, trying to get his second win of the season. And that'll definitely be very beneficial to number 2017. If he can get the victory here tonight, he would most likely shoot up to the points lead. Entering Chicagoland, and Chicagoland's definitely going to be a crazy race, I know that much. We got Nick Smith right behind him, Daniel Bouchard, Luke Rainey, and Jaden Scott the top 5, with Goldberg, Tyler Ryan, Clifton, Nichols, and Jonathan King rounding out the top 10. The 33 of Micah Knapp, I do believe, is out of the race after that accident. The only driver out of the race so far here at IRP. Green flag back in the air. Brad Stover with the lead. Nick Smith right behind him. There's Rainey for the 3rd position on Daniel Bouchard. And I believe he's going to take it off of turn 2. Following with Nick Smith right here. Brad Stover a little wide off the racetrack and into the outside wall. There goes Nick Smith to the inside, and Smith will take it away, lap 8 of 40. Nick Smith, the defending champion of this series, has had a tough season so far, deep in the points coming into tonight's race. But a win would definitely turn the season around for the defending champions team. 69, Luke Rainey's up there. It looks like he might avoid the wall. He's going to tap it slightly. Goldberg on Jaden Scott. That is for the 4th position. Bouchard looking to the inside of Brad Stover. Racing here is very interesting, but it's also very good when we get these ARCA cars on here. As a matter of fact, this is actually the first time the ARCA Series has come here. We did not come here in season number 1. And I thought we did because I know when we were doing the modified series and the super trucks along with this series, that both of those series came here, but apparently the ARCA Series did not come here, which I don't know why, because we got a great race going on right now. Brad Stover's falling back in the 27 after starting on the pole. Bouchard, he's trying to get his second win of the season. Remember I said earlier he won the first Bookman race earlier this season, race 2 of the season. Well, he's up to the 2nd position right now in the number 10, trying to eat away at Nick Smith's lead. But Smith has a pretty significant lead right now, holding on to it pretty well. Now, if he gets to the end of the field, which is possible he might do so, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be the case here tonight. It is only 40 laps long. But if he ends up hitting the end of the field, that could definitely make it interesting for the number 10. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe, yeah, they're at the opposite ends of the racetrack here, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But yeah, Daniel Bouchard right here. He's got to really run a very good race. Now, you did see Brad Stover overshoot the corner. There's no reason to believe that that won't happen to the number 6 of Nick Smith sometime throughout this race. It's a very tight racetrack and they kind of run up high through the corners. A little bit different than the other racetracks we go to, the other short tracks we go to, I should say. They don't hug that inside lane. You see Nick Smith going a little high there off the corner. Daniel Bouchard trying to close in there. He might have eaten away a little bit at his time, but the lead has pretty much stayed the same. He actually gained over a tenth of a second, tenth and a half, the number 10 there on that lap. Philip Goldberg, Jaden Scott, and Luke Rainey, the top 5 right now. There is Jonathan King running 7th. He moved his way up in the points after that Pocono victory last week. At the 52 of Richard Kinghart, he also moved his way through the points very well. He's only 8 points behind Andy Thomas coming into this event. And trying to locate the... Oh, and around! Justin Zeidel in the 88. And I'm not sure if that's going to trigger the caution or not. It will. Coming to the line, Nick Smith is going to hold off Daniel Bouchard under the second caution here tonight. We saw what happened as it happened live, and Justin Zeidel went spinning there. And more carnage as the 25, I believe, of Ace Garcia. Daniel McMillan got into each other and went around. There's Annie Thomas. She is very deep in the field and on the verge of losing her points lead at the end of the night. And there's a lot of guys who have a chance at taking it away. Richard Kinghart, Brad Stover. Jonathan King might even have a chance of doing so possibly. Richard Kinghart as well in the 50. Oh, I already mentioned him. Gotta mention him. But anyways... I did see somebody on the pit lane. I'm not sure who it was. I believe it was Ace Garcia, and he was trying to come back out onto the racetrack. You see the damage to his race car. I do not believe that was because of the incident with his teammate Daniel McMillan, but still, we'll go ahead and see what happened with the number 25 and with the 88 here to bring up the second caution of the night here at IRP. So this is what happened between Garcia and McMillan. And Garcia was coming off the pit lane, and he just ran up the corner into McMillan there. So, minor incident, but still an unfortunate one between those two guys. It was after the caution came out. So what happened to Justin Zeidel? Isaac Nichols got into the outside wall and scraped it, and the 88 tried to save it, got into James Richardson, and around he went. But that was all the major contact involved in that incident, so good to see it be minor there. Still triggered the second caution of the night here in the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200. Let's go ahead and get to the restart here at IRP with Nick Smith leading the field in the number 6. We are back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, and the number 6 of Nick Smith still leads the field. Coming to 20 laps to go, I do believe, here in the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200. So halfway through here at IRP, Daniel Bouchard, Philip Goldberg, Jaden Scott, and Luke Rainey, the top 5, with Tyler Ryan, the 01, Jonathan King, Richard Kinghart, Brad Stover, Noah Clifton, and there's Aiden Shepard on the verge of a top 10 finish here tonight. Pace car is going to pull off here. And you see the 25 of Ace Garcia. He is now 2 laps down after some sort of an issue. I don't know what it was exactly. But you see him at the end of the field right now after that incident. Number 6, Nick Smith, coming to the line. We're back to racing here at IRP. The interesting thing about this racetrack, they don't really get started until they cross the line, so that makes it very interesting for these guys trying to get the runs. And you see Bouchard trying to hang on the number 6. He had Philip Goldberg right behind him, but Bouchard is now pressuring. Nick Smith holding a good line, and Nick Smith's going to stay out front for now and lead lap 21. Daniel Bouchard trying to get that second win of the season. He'd love to get it in this Clemson machine. But right now, not able to get alongside the number 6 of Nick Smith, and he's going to stay in the second position. Number 55 of Philip Goldberg might get a run to the inside of Bouchard. Luke Rainey on Jaden Scott, and there goes the 55 to the inside. The number 10 for the second position, but he's not going to get it, and the caution is back out. I think something happened to Igor Barreto and Tyler Lyman. Both of those guys off the pace and at the end of the field there. So this is quickly getting easier and easier for Nick Smith as these guys continue to spin around here tonight. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the third caution here at IRP. He played this in real time, and Justin Zeidel just spun the 02 around off the corner. Very minor incident, just a little spin, and that was it. You also saw Joe Jefferson scrape the outside wall there and almost send himself around, and you might see the damage to his race car there. These guys have been hitting that outside wall all night, but he'll still continue in the 32. Let's go ahead and get to the restart. Nick Smith still out front in the number 6 here at IRP. Back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park for our third restart of the race. A lot of yellow here tonight, and Nick Smith continues to lead the defending champion of the series, trying to grab his first win of the season. Race 9 of the season here from the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200. Daniel Bouchard running second. Philip Goldberg, Jaden Scott, and Luke Rainey, the top 5. Tyler Ryan, Richard Kinghart, Brad Stover, Noah Clifton, Aiden Shepard, and Lauren Martinez. Top 11 coming to the restart with now 13 laps to go here at IRP. So this thing remains green. It's going to go by very, very quickly. So let's see what happens. Green flag back in the air here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. And Bouchard got a very good jump there on the restart. Goldberg did not, and there goes Jaden Scott for third. But Bouchard trying to pressure the 6 into making a mistake here on these next few laps so he can get that lead away. That 6 is a little wide off the corner there. Bouchard's going to get a little bit of a run and to the inside for the lead. Daniel Bouchard on Nick Smith. He's going to take it away as Smith almost hits the wall. He doesn't. Bouchard will clear him off a turn 2, lap 29 of 40. But this is not over yet. Nick Smith, very good chance at possibly returning the favor on the number 10. We're just going to have to see what he does. Tyler Ryan on Luke Rainey. That is for the 5th position. Bouchard is now out front. And the caution is back out again. Nick Smith in the outside wall hard as they're racing back to the line. Will he hold on the second? Jaden Scott trying to take the 2nd position away, and Nick Smith's in the outside wall. And the 48 will take 2nd, and Philip Goldberg will take 3rd as Bouchard wins the race back. I believe it might have been another minor spin. There's the 23 of Chase Marks with damage. You know, a lot of these guys I really haven't seen much of. Oh, it was not minor. Agar Barreto in the 02, and I believe that is Lauren Martinez in the 77. Richard Kinghart, Joe Jefferson. It was a lot bigger than I thought. Crash Fest race here tonight. It's been a while since we've had one of these on Napa Fan. It's okay to have one every once in a while. But I was about to say, some of these guys really haven't mentioned too much at all this season. Like Chase Marks, like I completely forgot he was even in the series. Eli Bright as well. These guys have not been running up front at all in any of these races, and we've only had 9 races so far, so we really haven't gotten the chance to mention those guys throughout the season here. But this field definitely getting shook up here in this crash-filled race. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the 4th caution in IRP. We're going to replay both crashes in real time only once due to the interest of time. You're going to see Chase Marks go around off of Isaac Nichols, and Igor Barreto ran right into him. And then back in here, going to be the 77 of Lauren Martinez and Richard Kinghart. They're going to get into each other off of turn number 4. You're going to see Martinez try to get to the inside of Kinghart there, but Kinghart was already in the outside wall. They both went around. Matthew Phillips with a little bit of damage, Joe Jefferson, Cameron Garlington, and Griffin Lynn. And all those guys avoided the accident. They all split those guys up and avoided any contact, I do believe, so that's a good thing there. But a lot of crashes here tonight, but the passing for the lead has been frequent. We've already had 3 lead changes, 3 different leaders. 2 lead changes, I should say, and 3 different leaders. Let's go ahead and see what happens on what will hopefully be the final restart of the night here in the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200. Back here at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, restart with 5 to go. Daniel Bouchard, the leader. Jaden Scott. Philip Goldberg, the number 6 of Nick Smith. The number 9, Tyler Ryan in 5th. Luke Rainey. Brad Stover, Aiden Shepard, Noah Clifton, Jonathan King. Noah Cars is in this series, by the way, guys, and he's like really popular on YouTube. But this is like literally the first time we've really seen his car all season long. That's what I mean. I mentioned it with Chase Marks, like a lot of these guys we just have not seen much of this season at all, and I completely forgot they were even in the series. Actually, I still got to look at my notes here to actually see who's in what car. And usually by race 9, I know who's in what car. I don't know. It's just been crazy lately. Let me just tell you that. Green flag back in the air. 5 laps to go. And Daniel Bouchard, a great jump on Jaden Scott. Now, Jaden Scott, I believe, is going for his first career win here on Napa Fan. He's up to second. Got Philip Goldberg in the 55. He won at Winchester last season in the ARCA Series. Nick Smith fell back to 4th after leading this race. And Tyler Ryan's going for his first career win as well. Bouchard with 4 laps to go. Will be able to get the advantage on the rest of the field and get this victory. If a caution were to come out now, the race would be over and Daniel Bouchard would be the winner at this point. But Jaden Scott is closing in fast in the 48. Trying to get any advantage that he possibly can on this number 10. Try to seal the fate for the number 10 in this one. Trying to run a lower line through the corner. Bouchard overshot it just a little bit. Almost hit the outside wall. He's got to be careful not to get too high on the racetrack, because if you do, you might hit that outside wall. You get the run off the corner. If you hit the outside wall, that run is stopped completely. Jaden Scott doing all he can to close in here. Trying to run a higher line now off of turn 2. Trying to get the run down the backstretch. It's going to be the white flag next time by for Daniel Bouchard, and Scott to the outside wall. That just made it a lot easier for the number 10 to get this victory. Philip Goldberg will take second from the 48. They go side by side on the final lap. And Daniel Bouchard in the 10, only unless he overshoots the corner. This final couple of corners, he's going to be the winner here tonight. For the second time this season off of turn 4, Daniel Bouchard wins the Sioux Chief PowerPEX 200 here at IRP in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series, presented by Krispy Kreme, his second win of the season. And it comes on the short track in Indianapolis. Philip Goldberg, Jaden Scott finishing 3rd, Tyler Ryan finishing 4th. Great run for Nick Smith nonetheless, finishing 5th here tonight. But the story of the night is the winner, Daniel Bouchard, the first 2-time winner this season in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series. Great runs for a lot of guys. Aiden Shepard, Noah Clifton, Noah Cars, all finishing in the top 10. Matthew Phillips and Josh Crash. Josh Crash was involved in a crash at the beginning of the race, and he still got a top 10 here tonight. Brad Stover in the 27, who finished 11th, started in the pole. Fell back 10 positions, but not too bad, all things considered. However, Annie Thomas finished 13th. And I believe all those guys that were battling for in the point standings kind of finished below her or not far enough ahead of her to overtake her in the points inning. So I believe Annie Thomas is going to remain in the points lead after this one, heading into Chicagoland. Joe Jefferson, Lauren Martinez, Richard Kinghart, Cameron Garlington, Griffin Lynn, Igor Barreto, and Micah Knapp all failed to finish here tonight. Chase Marks, Ace Garcia both a lap down or 2 laps down. And everybody else finished on the lead lap. 24 drivers on the lead lap here tonight at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Next race here is going to be at Chicagoland next Tuesday evening. The Scott 150. Chicagoland's a crazy place. Going to have a lot of passing in that one. And it's going to start the last 4 races of the season, I believe. I think. This is race 9. We got Chicagoland. Oh, wait. I'm getting this all wrong. Last 5 races of the season. I completely forgot that Talladega is the finale of the series. I keep on thinking that it's going to end at Kansas. It's actually ending at Talladega. We got Chicagoland, Kentucky, Winchester, Kansas, and Talladega. That's the rest of the schedule here in the ARCA Racing Series. So a lot of great racetracks. We got 3 mile-and-a-halfs coming up, and we get a lot of passing at the mile-and-a-halfs. And then, of course, we got Talladega. I don't even need to go into explanation on that one. Congratulations to Daniel Bouchard on getting the win and 36 points towards the championship here tonight. And here are the point standings for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme in the NRLOA. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.
One day we'll leave this world behind and say goodbye.